where do you see yourself going? I mean, you got some tracks that are coming up. You said so you're planning to go for another album, which is good. Which is, that's what you mentioned after Country Showcase. So you're putting some more tracks together. Have you been around locally to play some of your music? Where you're from, around your area. Around. I don't know if they have barn dancing anymore or clubs that people socialize that are not I don't mean with the big hefty disco speakers, but this kind of style. I mean, does it still exist where you are?
Oh, absolutely. It exists big time. They got all over here in Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio area where I'm at. They have got Renfro Valley, which is one of the largest. You go down to the casinos. You can play down there at the casinos. You play at the Moose Lodges, the VFWs, things like that. Some of the lounges. There's a lot of those around that still do host country music, and it's a lot of bluegrass, extreme amount of bluegrass here in my area. They ride right beside each other. It's here. It's alive. It's big time. Country music and bluegrass is in this area big time. And like you said, yes, I am getting ready to go do another a CD. I want to go do another CD. The wife and I are picking through about 20 songs at the present time to see which ones we think will be public acceptable or have a higher rating than the other ones, and it's very hard to distinguish because we've dance tested a lot of these songs. We've played them out in clubs, and people gets up and dance to them all the time, and we want to get 10 more. And once again, we're going to go back down to CTM Studio right there on Nashville Road in Nashville, Tennessee. They got the finest, I think, session players that I can afford to play with and or have play for me.
And your regulars that I mean, the more you play with somebody, the more somebody works with you, then it's easier for them to get to know where you're going, where you're heading, what to play. You just need to look at each other and hey, it's just chemistry. So that's good that you don't change musicians and change where you're going. You get used to a sound and a place, and therefore it's good because then that's what you're giving your fans. You're giving your fans a sound that they have accepted you and liked you, and you don't go into drastic changes. Okay, if a drummer doesn't turn up because he's ill or gone to another country, you can fill it in somehow here and there, but you don't go around changing all the musicians every time you do an album. So that's pretty good. That's wise. Yeah, it's cool.
That's absolute. That's going to be a must for me. With the studio, with the guys. Heaven forbid if anybody of them pass away. That's the only way that I won't want them guys, because I consider them, unfortunately, when some of the other musicians have passed, it changes the sound to any band, any big major singer or anybody. It does. It changes the sound, and I would like to keep my sound just the way it is. I know it's not the hip hop country, but maybe history repeats itself, and I know it does. And maybe that I'm going to be coming back because they brought out all 7 legends: George Jones, Merle Haggard, Charlie Pride, all of them. Tanya Tucker, all of them.
You can't beat the classics, Roger. That's a fact. You can't beat the classics. Got a story about the next one coming up because we're also running out of time. She Locked Me Out. I have a track here which is quite nice. Is there anything behind this one, or is it just one of those lovely country songs that you do? Interesting. I'm into this story stuff. Unfortunately, I need to ask, but I do.
Unfortunately, that I did record that. Yeah, that probably was true from me with my ex-wife. We all had exes.
Oh, yeah.
Even George
Okay.
even sing got exes in Texas. Well,
most
my
of
ex,
us artists
she locked me out. Now going back to the tavern, see my buddies.
Okay, so that sounds nice. So let's give this one. Let's give this one a spin and come back again. A little chat to see about the future and sort of make it stick in our listeners and our viewers. Where you're heading and what you're doing. So let's give this a particular spin as well. It's a nice track. She Locked Me Out. This is by Roger Losh from his album Country's Showcase.
She locked me out and they let me in. I'm going back to the tavern again. I see my buddies, nighttime friends. They held me out and they let me in. I'm just a hard-working man. I've had all that I can stand, and I'm going back to the tavern again. I thought she was a loving wife, but she's just not the hugging type. She likes to fight and she likes to scrap. Gives me hell over this and that. I've had all that I can stand. I'm going back to the tavern again, and I'm going back to the tavern again. I'm gonna load up my old truck with my honey and fish and stuff. I'm going down to the water and hope I don't need no fishing pole. Might be late when I get a bite. Might have to drink and dance all night. But I'm going back to the tavern again. I'm going back to the tavern again to see my buddies, nighttime friends. They helped me out and they let me in. I'm going back to the tavern again. I'm going back to the tavern again, see my buddies, nighttime friends. And I'm going back to the tavern again.
That's what we're doing tonight. We're a live interview face to face with country singer-songwriter Mr. Roger Losh, and we're happy that the guy has invited us into his own very own home, and we are very, very grateful for that. So a track that is kind of a true story, I would say, like most of the better tracks that we hear. Usually they say the ones that are actually true turn out to be the better ones, even though we could imagine the true story of a track is just about it, it spills the beans, so to speak. It's a nice little track though. It's quite bouncy, even though you get locked out. I hope it wasn't in the cold.